I have a name for the forgotten, forgettable, off-brand, off-axis games of our youth. I call them cousin games. Army Men, Sarge's Heroes, Uniracers, Rise of the Robots. The best way to get into the cousin game mindset is to imagine being dropped off at a house that smells different from how you think a house is supposed to smell, and then you go into a room with a guy who's kind of like a weird version of you, and he's playing Nintendo, which you understand, but then you look at the screen and you're like, what is that? What the hell is that? Iggy's Wreckin' Balls, Operation Winback, Coliseum, Road to Freedom. A cousin game is a game that you don't own and don't necessarily want to own. But cousin game is not a euphemism for bad game. There are a lot of bad games that are not cousin games. Cousin games also aren't normie games. Madden is not a cousin game. It's just a game that your cousin plays. This is true for most sports games, but not always true in extreme sports and motorsport. Tony Hawk is not a cousin game, but Tony Hawk's Underground 2 is. Airblade is a cousin game. A game with Spider-Man in it has a 75% chance of being a cousin game. 80% for Wolverine, 90% for Taz. In general, licensed tie-in games have a higher chance of being cousin games. First-party Nintendo games are never cousin games. Except for Geist, which is a cousin game. The cousin game is defined by a mystery. How did this game come to be in this wrong-smelling house? Was it a gift from a parent, plucked arbitrarily from a Babbage's shelf? Or did your cousin really believe in Battle Tanks 2? Do they still think of it fondly today? As sweet in their memory as it is strange in yours? And if you, the viewer, saw any of the games mentioned here and said, that's not a cousin game, you may have to consider the troubling possibility that you are the cousin. Help is available.